I'm really happy with how the last stream went. I feel like I've got a good solid foundation about what my game is going to kind of be about now. So I'm really looking forward to diving into this. Okay, let's quieten down the music slightly. Let me know how the music volume is. Okay, so towards the end of last stream, we kind of fell on this idea of when you die, you become the enemy. And that fits into the theme of how an end is a new beginning. And so I really like this. So I think I'm just going to commit down this avenue and just see how it goes. The second thing is that I really want to make a platformer. And that's because I haven't actually had a chance to work on a platformer using my movement scripts, which is really weird. So I want to kind of take some inspiration from games like Nuclear Throne with their super juicy combat and mix that with the speedrunning aspects of Neon White, as well as my own twist and inspiration for my own games. So I think this could be a really good combo. So I want to start by outlining some different games that I can use for inspiration, refine my ideas slightly, and then we can just dive straight into Unity and start making stuff. Okay. So you become the enemy that kills you. That's going to be the core mechanic in this game, I think. So I'm kind of picturing this almost Katana Zero game. So let's put that in here. Kind of fuse with Nuclear Throne and have a more focus on momentum and platforming, kind of like in Neon White. So let's just start. I'm just going to start throwing some of these and create this sort of mood board kind of vibe. I think this idea should work really well. Could it really play to my strengths as a game developer? So I'm hoping that pans out as a good decision. I'm definitely playing this one quite safe. But I know, I'm looking forward to this. I think this is gonna be good. Okay, it's my imagination here is going towards, you have a really simple level, and then the fun is gonna come into it where you're trying to problem solve which enemies you need to kill, and then which ones you need to be killed by to gain their abilities. So every enemy is going to have a set of abilities that can be used by them and the player, and it's going to be an interesting trade-off of whether or not you want to kill them, and then maybe that can do something, or they can kill you and you can gain their ability set. Okay, so a couple of things. So first, I feel like we can really take some inspiration from Downwell here with all the dual purpose mechanic kind of vibes. So we can kind of have this very juicy shooter platformer-esque thing that's also got this really interesting problem solving element. So Downwell's definitely going to be a game I'm going to be playing later. Hi Dominic. That's really interesting concept. Awesome. I'm glad you think so. Okay. I think the best thing here is going to be to try and implement this ability switching mechanic very quickly. Because as soon as that's in, we can really work out how fun and interesting this concept's going to be. I know, we leave some room to divert, follow some other ideas if we need to. Okay. Let's start thinking about this. So, platforming speedrunning. I really want this game to have a good speedrunning aspect. I think that'll be super interesting and fun to work on. So I will definitely be watching 𝒂𝒕𝒄𝒉𝒊𝒏𝒈's video on Neon White later. How the enemies attack is another big issue we need to think about. So I really want the movement and the combat to be interwoven really well. So the enemy design is going to be crucial, I think. Oh, importantly, I think this could be a really nice, almost spiritual sequel to my game Cosmos. So let's throw some of that in there as well. So Cosmos is like this vertical, yeah, let's go to Steam. Cosmos. Cosmos is like this vertical speedrunning platformer thing that I made a few years ago, and it's my first commercial game. I think taking a lot of inspiration from this could be really good. So you can kind of see from the trailer, a lot is about fast-paced movement and shooting enemies. And so I think I can take a lot of the lessons I learned from Cosmos, the things that did and didn't work, and really tie that into this game. I think another game, the game I made for the Brackeys Jam actually last year, is very inspired by 𝒂𝒂𝒕𝒄𝒉𝒊𝒏𝒈. I think that's a great influence, that could have a great influence in this game as well. Okay, let's take that image, add that to our mood board. 𝒂𝒂𝒕𝒄𝒉𝒊𝒏𝒈 as well, let's not forget that. Yeah, so all these kind of like really juicy shooter games I think are gonna be great. Oh, that's pixelated, oh, that's fine. I know my game well enough that I can imagine it. Okay, 𝒂𝒂𝒕𝒄𝒉𝒊𝒏𝒈 as well. 𝒂𝒂𝒕𝒄𝒉𝒊𝒏𝒈 is such an awesome game. Oh, I love it. It's one of the few games I've actually completed as well. Again, I think this game, this like idea, more or less, has a lot of potential for me to add loads of juiciness and interesting like emergent behaviors, if you got what I mean, loads of synergies between different abilities. I think that will really play to my strengths. So I'm excited. Okay. Having a small mood board is just really nice to bounce ideas off of, help you visualize your idea better as well. Okay, platformer speedrunning. So let's start writing some things down, brainstorming. So become the enemy that kills you. I really want to keep this almost minimalist in controls. One of the issues with Cosmos is, so Cosmos, you can move with WASD and you aim with your mouse, kind of like you would in an FPS game. However, it's also a really fast-paced platformer, and so it kind of made it awkward for some people who are coming in expecting to be this like slightly more chilled, easy to understand platformer, and having to aim, shoot, move really fast can be really hard when you're just getting started in the game. So I think having all the movement, having a singular movement ability for every enemy / player, like class, and having that also be an attack could be a great way to help simplify the game as a whole, especially when you're having to juggle all these different new abilities coming in from different enemies. And then hopefully I can focus on the emergent behavior between how different abilities interact will be a really fun problem to solve, I think. So minimalist controls. I think this game could work quite well on controller as well, so I have to think about that later. Become the enemy that kills you. That is what our entire game is going to revolve around. When it comes to art, I'm thinking I could definitely go for this minimalist, down-well aesthetic. Possibly mixed in with 𝒂𝒂𝒕𝒄𝒉𝒊𝒏𝒈 a little bit, kind of like how I did for Synthetic. Let me show you guys that game. I think Synthetic's probably the best game I've made for a game jam. It wasn't my favorite to work on, but it was, I think it had the best end product. So it was heavily inspired by 𝒂𝒂𝒕𝒄𝒉𝒊𝒏𝒈, as you can kind of see from these screenshots, but it was super juicy and easy to understand. And I think that helped it resonate with people way more. Where did it come actually? Let's have a look. Came 59th. Okay, we take that. We take that. That was in 2021. Yeah, that was a long time ago. Wow. So I think we can learn a lot from how this went and try and replicate some of that. Okay. Let's dive into Unity. Okay, so I assume nearly like all of you here have watched my platformer series, since that's kind of what I've become like known for on YouTube now. So I'm hoping this will give a good way for me to like actually show you guys how I'd go about implementing my platformer controls. Okay, so first of all, let's just get some player movement going. I'm going to keep this super simple to start with. I'm not going to bother implementing my like whole control scheme, whatever. Just keep it really simple. You just move the arrow keys, you can jump, that kind of vibe. And then afterwards, we can start thinking about how we're going to implement the ability swapping, because I think that's going to be the core fundamental part of this game. Yeah. Okay, let's open up in VS Code. Okay, so let's just get the most basic platform movement we can working. Okay, let's wait for all the IntelliSense to load in. I'm still unsure about the enemy design. I think that might take up the bulk of the next 2 days, to be honest. Working out what enemies work, how we can implement different movement mechanics. So the ideas I have right now are things like grappling hooks and dashes, and kind of go down that avenue. So I think a grappling hook could be super fun to work with. I want things to have a lot of speedrunning potential and like momentum based, so I can really play into my strengths when it comes to platform movement. See, I'm not entirely sure how these are going to work with levels as well. That's not something I've thought about. So movement with levels, how do they tie in with each other? That's an important question to answer. An end is a new beginning. I'm like, I know, I have this really cool like image in my mind. So do you guys know Hollow Knight and the death animation in there? It's this like massive like splurge of blackness on the screen. And it makes this really cool sound effect as well. I'm imagining some sort of like amazing transformation kind of animation when it comes to you switching characters. And that has so much potential for being this like really juicy, good feeling mechanic. No, it started at 11 AM this morning. That's cool though. I think the jam lasts for 7 days, which makes it a nice, I don't know, it's much more chilled out than like a 48-hour jam where you're constantly scrambling to make sure everything's done in time. Okay, let's get started then. Okay, rigid body 2D, let's just get the most basic fundamental version of movement going. Okay, so let's keep the movement simple for now. Float, call that move input. And for now, we can just use the arrow keys. The arrow keys in WSD, I think that will work fine. Get axis for horizontal. So this will just return a value between 0 and 1 depending on what direction we're pressing. Then after that, we're going to do exactly what I told you guys not to do in my platform video and just set the velocity outright. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know about how the time zones are working for this. Yeah, I know it started this morning though, so hey, that's fine. You have so long to work on a 7-day project that you still got time. Let's add in a speed mount thing. I think one of the hardest things about streaming and game developing is coding and talking at the same time. That can be really hard. So let's see how this goes. Okay, so just to make a private float that holds our movement speed. Move speed. And then let's get our movement input and we're going to times that. Actually, let's make this into a vector 2 for now. Yeah. And we're going to set the X component, move input to X, to our kind of directional, which way we're going to move. Move input times that by move speed, and we have some movement working in theory. Let's make sure we get. Hold up, what am I doing here that's wrong? Unassigned. Okay, we need to set that to vector2.0. Perfect. Okay, so that's some basic movement going. Can you help me with your Celeste movement tutorial? I did it, but when I turn too fast, it flickers across the screen. Could you post like a screenshot or something over on Discord? I don't know, that could kind of be anything, to be honest. I'm not sure. There's not like one piece of advice I can give you for that. Awesome. Okay. So, got some basic movement working. Great. Let's just make our player character then. Okay, so like I said before, I think the most important thing is that we get our player movement working super quickly and then put loads of focus into getting the ability swapping to working. Let's add our player movement script. Let's add a collider. Let's add a rigid body. And let's add a sprite. We can just set this to a square for now, yeah. I doubt I'll get to art anytime soon. Let's create a new sprite. 2D. Sprite, square. Awesome. Let's get a tile map set up. I think I'm going to go for the tile-based pixel art kind of approach to this game. Let's rename this level grid. Okay, and we're just gonna make a really quick prototype kind of level. Let's get nice. Okay, let's make a super basic level. So I think there's definitely going to be like a vertical kind of platform idea. Lubo asks, what's your base idea? Okay, let me explain that as I start getting movement working. Okay, so the theme is an end is a new beginning. And so how I want to get this to work is to have the player kind of be this like vertical platformer where you're like fighting the enemies, possibly some shooting mechanics, and then when you die you become the enemy that killed you. So there's this kind of ability swapping that's going to be part of the game that I think is going to be really interesting, and so that can help the game kind of become this almost problem solving element as you're working out which enemies you want to kill, which enemies you want to be killed by, and then this juggle between abilities that should lead to this really like cathartic, rapid paced system that should be really interesting. So that's our goal. Okay, as always, we need to make a new physics material. Let's talk about physics. This is a really important thing if you're making a new platformer. Don't forget to set your player's default friction to 0. That's something a lot of beginners forget. Let's just call that physics, or let's call it default physics. Oh, that was free. Ooh, okay. You need to make sure you make a 2D one. 2D, physics material 2D. Default physics, okay. Set friction to 0, let's go apply that to our player. Organize everything. Great. Okay. Let's quickly set up our rigid body. So set to continuous, never sleep, interpolate. These kind of help smooth out your movement a bit, so it's always nice to have those enabled. Okay, will it work first try? No, object reference not select. What have I said? Oh, okay. Yeah, I know. I need to find a reference to our rigid body. Awesome. So yeah, so in start, let's just grab our player's rigid body, which is the thing that applies all the forces in Unity. Do I need to set the physics material to the player or the platform? I would generally recommend doing it to the player, since you just have to do it once then, because else in the future, if you're like making loads of new levels, you'll kind of run into issues, though in theory it doesn't actually matter. I think just doing it to the player is good use of a good, what's the word, just good practice really. Yeah, a good rule of thumb. Generally, if I want to add in friction to my games, I'll just do it myself rather than relying on Unity's system. Okay, rigid body, and we're just going to grab our current player's rigid body 2D. Okay, let's make sure this works. Lovely. There's one more thing we need to fix, and that is we don't want to be selling. We don't want to be overriding our Y velocity. Because here before we were setting it to 0. So now let's just move input. Let's set our X velocity to based on what direction we're pressing. So it turns about move speed. And then we'll set our Y just to whatever our current Y velocity is. We don't want to influence that at all yet. Okay, great. One quick tip as well, to speed up loading into Play, what you can do is go into your project settings, general project. Oh crap. Where's the settings window gone? Oh, I know, of course, it is in here. There we go, project settings. And a great tip is, let's find editor, scroll all the way down, and you see these enter play mode options. So generally when you enter play mode, Unity will reload your scene and reload all your scripts. However, we don't actually need that to happen. So because our scripts reload every time we make a change anyway, and our scene, we can just reload it ourselves if we need to. So you can just leave them both unticked, and then watch how quickly we enter play mode now. Boom. Okay, basic movement done, awesome. So I was thinking about this earlier. Do we need a jump? Because I want to keep the movement super simple. And I'm thinking we could just give the player a dash rather than a jump. Hi Mad Lad, how you doing? A bit unrelated, but did you ever try any other game engines? Technically, no. So I've only ever really used Unity, to be honest. Before that I used Scratch, which isn't really a game engine, but it's another environment at least. That's what I started learning to program in. But I would definitely love to try like Godot at some point as well. It's kind of weird. If I was starting game development from scratch today, I would probably pick Godot over Unity, because I just think it's a bit more minimalist and easy for beginners to learn. Though I'm no expert in it. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so let me make a pin comment for this actually. Okay, so my current idea. So the theme is, an end is a new beginning. And so my idea for this, that's fine, don't worry about it. So my theme is you become the enemy that kills you. So as soon as your life ends, you, instead of dying, you actually become the enemy that killed you. And I think this could lead to some really interesting emergent mechanics. And so then that's going to be added to some sort of like platformer kind of action-based shooter kind of game. We'll see where it goes. I need to definitely refine that idea slightly. Yeah, so put simply, a platformer where you kill enemies, and then when an enemy kills you, you become the enemy. So yeah, I'm really excited to be working on this. It definitely needs some more refinement. We need to really cut down on the idea, work out what the core aspect of this game is going to be. But I think it has potential, so we'll see. Let me write a pinned comment for that. Let's see. How can I sum up my game in one sentence? So the theme is the theme for the Brackeys Game Jam. For the Brackeys Game Jam is an end is a new beginning. Is anyone here? Are you guys taking part in the Game Jam at all? And the theme for the Brackeys Game Jam is an end is a new beginning. So upon the player's life ending, and so yeah. Oh, Luby, you're taking part. Oh, awesome. Feel free to definitely share your stuff here then, here or over on the Discord. I made one small game in Unity using your amazing movement projects. Thanks. Thank you so much for making it available to everyone, but I'm also thinking of trying Godot out. Yeah, definitely. Someone actually converted all my movement to the Godot engine, which is awesome. I think I posted a link to that on the Discord a while back, though I'm happy to post it here if you want it as well. Yeah, it's so awesome to see how much stuff people made with my like movement kind of script now as well. It's amazing. And so my idea is a platformer where you become the enemy that kills you. To progress, you need to there's a really short character limit on chat, isn't there? It kills you. Okay, that's good enough. Let's pin that. I once had a random idea to have a level where you play as a normal for a bit. Your inputs get recorded and you have to play as the enemies in the next room and avoid the player. That's very interesting. I've done some stuff with like replay-esque systems in the past and it's really interesting. Oh, that would be incredible. I'll locate you in Discord. Thanks. Awesome. Happy to help you out. Yeah, someone literally recreated my entire project in the Godot, which is amazing. Okay, let's get back to working on this. So, an end it's a new beginning could work on a circular world. If you keep moving forward, the end of the level will be the start. Kind of thing. Since it's a circle. Yeah, I think circular worlds are can have some really interesting properties. I know Brackeys made like a small game around that as well once as well. That was very cool. So, how should we approach this? So I want to try and keep the controls very simple. So in the game, there's a game called Downwell, which let's just pop up. Let's play some Downwell while I talk about what I want to do for this. So Downwell is this small platformer game, and it's really interesting because everything in the game serves multiple purposes. So, for example, to shoot in Downwell, you press spacebar, which is also the jump, and it also slows down your movement, and everything kind of interlinks, and it creates this really interesting, fast-paced roguelike. The one where you drive on a shrinky planet. Yes, exactly. So I kind of want to take inspiration from this and try and make this almost fast speedrunning almost game. Devolver Digital. Okay. So you can kind of already see Downwell is super juicy. Like everything feels really alive in the game. Arm spin style. Okay, let's get into this. So, okay, let's turn down the volume very slightly and let's go and mute the lo-fi music. Awesome. Okay, let me know if that sounds good. So, this game only has 2 buttons. You can move with the arrow keys and you press space. When you press space, you just fire bullets away. So it's kind of like this juicy platformer style that I really want to go for on this jam, whilst kind of also keeping that like minimalist, this like minimalist kind of style that this game's going for. I think this works really good in the game jam as well, where we can really focus on having a simple but interesting idea and then building on that in as many ways as we have time for. So I think that my game is, instead of going down, go up. We are going up in a level, and the enemy's like abilities can really tie into your movement. I'm kind of reminded by like Neon White in that way, where you're kind of choosing between using your ability to move or to attack an enemy. And I'm hoping that'll lead to some really interesting problem solving kind of puzzles. Ooh, that feels good. So you can see how the game really feels alive here. Oh. Oh no. That went bad very quickly. Oh no. Okay, attempt 2. One more attempt, then let's head back to my game. I can't procrastinate like this. So you'll see how pressing space, it launches you in the air, it shoots and it slows you down. So everything's serving all these different purposes whilst keeping it super simple. So it kind of goes for that like easy to learn, hard to master kind of style as well, which is really important. We see like, the sounds, they feel so good. Shotgun. So kind of like how these guns are actually switching up how you approach the game. I'm hoping that's how the different enemy abilities will work as well. So far there's a couple ideas I have. One is grappling hook. I think that will make an awesome enemy. Secondly is some sort of dash ability. And third is some sort of like almost teleport tunnel kind of thing. I want abilities that can be very aggressive, but also be used to like show like how good the game's movement and momentum system is. Downward is a juice machine, 100%. It's a really good example. The second game actually that I want to show you guys later is Nuclear Throne, which is even more extreme when it comes to the juice. It feels absolutely amazing. Okay, let's see how far we can go on this level. So this game was inspired by Splunky as well, so it has a very harsh like death system like all roguelites do. One charge. I think that will add ammo, I don't know. Back, cool. Yes, even the UI only uses 2 buttons, and that was very close to me dying there. I'm on 1 HP now, so let's see how long this lasts. Okay, maybe just one more run. Explaining an action game that is this fast and playing at the same time is very difficult. Okay, you also notice bouncing on their heads, it reloads your boots as well. Everything's serving multiple mechanics. Oh no. This was actually the inspiration behind the theme for the first 𝒂𝒕𝒄𝒉𝒊𝒏𝒈 game jam, which is all about dual purpose mechanics as well. Bang, bang. Oh, the combos in this game. That was... Hey, there we go. Yeah, so if I didn't mention, this is a roguelike as well. So everything's randomly generated. And I don't think I've ever gone past the second world, to be honest. So let's see how far this one takes me. It's weird, this game doesn't feel like a platformer, even though it takes so much inspiration from them. Okay, 1 HP. What could go wrong? The color palette really helps keeping this game readable, because everything's happening so quickly on... Oh, wow. Okay. Okay, that's enough of that game. Okay. What to work on next? If you obtain the ability, the enemy kills you, doesn't that make the game really easy? Yes. So what I'm thinking is in every level you have like, you'll still take damage when an enemy kills you. Okay, let me explain that better. So every enemy will be like a one-shot kill. However, when you die, you'll lose like 1 HP. And so you'll switch to the enemy and lose 1 HP. I'm realizing in my head this may not work. Okay. So what I'm thinking is the player will have 3 HP. And then every time they get killed by an enemy, or they get hit by an enemy rather, you switch to that enemy and you lose 1 HP. And then you only die when you've like been killed, like, or been like forced to swap abilities 3 times in a way. Made their enemies that are easier to move with but deal more damage. Yeah, so I really want to focus on the trade-offs between different abilities and having to swap past them, swap to different abilities to progress through the level. Okay, so we have basic movement working. Okay, I'm trying to think, how are the controls? I want to keep the controls as simple as possible. So one of the challenges, or one of the interesting problems I was trying to think about before is, should this game be a platformer? Because if the focus is on killing enemies, maybe it being a top-down shooter will work better, which is a bit annoying because I came into this jam really wanting to make a platformer. But if that's what the game's leaning towards, I may be forced to go in that direction. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what do you guys think about this? I'm trying to think of an idea. Oh, that's fine. For my game Synthetic, it took me 2 days to come up with an idea in a 7K game jam. It happens. So I don't know. I think I'm still kind of split on how important your idea actually is, because execution is definitely the most important thing. The scale between them though, I'm not sure. I hear very conflicting viewpoints about this a lot. Okay. Can you explain your idea? Have a look at the pinned comment. That kind of gives a rough overview. There's also the aspect which I don't entirely know what I'm making just yet. I think today is definitely going to be more about ideation and kind of pick a direction to go in. So I think that's going to be the most important aspect of today. And then tomorrow and the day after, I want to get the entire game kind of outlined in a way, get an idea for how the mechanics are going to interact, what I should work on, and really make sure I have time to polish a ton later in the week. The first way I visualized was you start at the bottom of the level. When you die, you respawn on the start. You have to guess in the order of your deaths to get to the end, kind of center on the puzzles. Yeah, kind of, yeah. I have this idea where when you die, you can make yourself stronger. What do you think? Yeah, that works perfectly well. I think keeping it simple is so important in game jams. I'm thinking of a game where your actions affect the next run of the game. Yeah, I've kind of experimented with that idea in so many past jams, and I haven't got anywhere with it, but that's mainly because I've ended up... do you guys know about those like replay mechanics in games? So where you die once and then you get to play again and play alongside your past self. So I'm thinking of games like Super Time Force, for example. And I've tried that a lot and haven't got far with it. But I think it's a really cool concept and really interesting to work with nonetheless. Okay. I'm just like turning this idea around in my head, trying to think about what direction we should go in. Minimalist controls is really important to me. Focusing on movement. Maybe if I take inspiration from my game Cosmos and have, so you move with WASD and then you're aiming with your mouse, kind of like Katana Zero if anyone's played that here. Okay, I think that could work, yeah. Okay, let's commit to that and let's see how that goes. I had this massive issue with Cosmos where a lot of people really struggled with the control scheme and found it a bit complicated. So I'm like kind of nervous to try that again, but I think I should just dive into it and see what happens. Hello, Irop. How are you doing? Okay, let's dive into this. Okay, let's get a jump working. So I'm not going to implement any of like the kind of cool, interesting ideas which I showed in my last video. For now, I just want to keep everything as simple as possible. So we can really focus on prototyping the core of the game, and then afterwards come in and add all that juice and stuff which I talk about in my videos. Okay, let's get a super simple jump working. Oh, let's add back in the music as well. Can't forget to do that. Okay, as always, let me know about volume, if it's turn it up, down, whatever. Hey, Geek Joystick, how you doing? Okay, let's get started. So I'm going to stick with the, let me open up this again. Have a look at the pin comment. I'm going to stick with the idea we were talking about earlier. So become the enemy that kills you. I think that's gonna be great. And then I'm gonna try and fuse that with some of the ideas I explored in my past game Cosmos, as well as some other like action platformer kind of style games. This could work on a combat focused game. Every time you die voluntarily, you get the abyss ability of the enemy that killed you, but you'll be weaker, so it's kind of a trade-off. The fact that you're weaker when you're using another enemy could be really interesting. I'm gonna make a note of that. Because I know we were talking about this before, having some sort of limitation with the ability could be really important. Oh, no worries. Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, so weak when using enemies' abilities. Okay, I'm gonna really try and zoom in on this end. Do you stream on Twitch? No, just YouTube. I've never really used Twitch, to be honest. I don't watch much content on there, so I'm not familiar with the platform much. Okay, private flow, jump force. And let's read in here if we'll just make a super simple jump system. So if we get key down and the key code is space, we're gonna call some sort of jump function. Private void jump, void velocity, and then we're gonna, oh no, yeah, let's just copy that, delete everything within. So we're going to keep our X velocity the same, obviously, and then just add our jump force directly onto our velocity. Okay, let's add in a ground check then as well. So we'll have another serialized field, private, and we'll just get a transform. So this will be our ground checkpoint. So this will be our position where we work out whether or not the player is ground or not, and we just do a small check around it to see if we intersect any like ground layers, ground colliders rather. Let's add in a layer mask so we can check what is ground. Ground layers. And we also, let's get a radius so we know how the area around this point that we're going to create in a second, how large around the area we should actually check. Because generally it's good to give a little bit of leeway for the player. make a little region just to organize our code a little bit. So this is all our run. And we're going to come back to this later and add in all the fancy stuff I talk about in my videos. Hi Swenji. Are you more lean towards becoming the exact same as the enemy that kills you, or rather taking its key characteristics and implementing them in a way that's more adapted to the human player? That's something I'm going to think about later. So I'll probably experiment with both, see which one feels best initially, and just go with my gut feeling. Lubo says, my project crashed due to a bug and it keeps crashing. I think I need to do it all over again. Oh, that sucks. Oof. Yeah, Unity can be kind of horrible sometimes. You could try updating to a newer version of Unity maybe, I'm not sure. Okay, let's add in our checks over here. So region, we'll call these just checks. End region, keeping lovely organized code. Which isn't something I should be doing in a game jam now that I think about it, but hey, old habits die hard, I guess. And this isn't the worst habit. Okay, let's add in a boolean. So, supervised field. Actually, that needs to be private bool is grounded. And so we're going to do a quick physics check just to see if the player is on the ground. 2D overlap circle. Yeah, overlap circle. And then we're going to take that point we made before, ground check point, and get that position. Check the radius, ground check radius, and then only check our ground layer. Awesome. So that will just return whether or not we're on the ground or not. And let's just check for that. So is grounded. And so later on we can come in and add code to time and things like that. Okay, perfect. Let's set all that up and make sure our ground's working. Okay, we're going to position this ground check just at the very edge of the player's feet. So the player is about 1 in height, so about 4.49 is all good. Let's create a new layer for ground. And this is what we can set our tile map to. Ground, a very short radius of 0.5, let's say. Our ground checkpoint is going to be this object we just created. Our jump force can be 10. And this is going to work first time. Let's go. Okay. So you can see this is kind of horrible. Unity's default physics just don't feel great for a platformer. They're set to 9.81, which is obviously what it is in real life, but in games, it's generally you want to get a more animated feel, and so let's up this immediately. I think going for about -25 generally feels quite nice. That immediately feels better. Though, okay, we're gonna have to fix that, turn off rotations. And to be honest, I'm actually not gonna bother implementing anything else to that for now. So no jump cutting, no jump hanging, none of the techniques I talk about. We're going to do this all later on. I want to get the attack system working immediately. Okay, let's disable rotations. What is the theme name on VS Code? What theme am I using? Let's have a look. Actually, it's a quick way to do this. Themes, color theme. I'm using Min Dark, and I've also modified it slightly actually, now that I think about it. But I think that's a good starting point. How do I show you my modifications? I'm not entirely sure. Min Dark and also the GitHub Dark theme are about what I use though. So they're good starting points. Okay, so we're gonna get the attack working with the mouse, so you can like move around and attack, kind of like in Katana Zero. Okay, I just had an idea actually. So how about instead of jumping, you jump kind of like in Jump King, if you guys know that game. So instead of just jumping up and having to move with the arrow keys, you can actually aim in the direction you want to jump and then you're launched in that direction. Is that a good idea? Let's see. Jump and attack, yeah. Ooh. I'm gonna think about this a bit. Because this definitely will dictate the direction of the entire game. That might get frustrating depending on the levels, yeah. So I'm thinking the way I want it to work is the enemy is defined by this core ability that you're gonna take from them. And so that's gonna be like kind of like a Dash in Celeste where the entire game is built around said ability. It could work if all the enemy's abilities center on aiming, yes. Right now that's the case, because I think abilities such as like grappling hooks, dashes, I think those work really well in this game. This keeps coming back to the issue of should this be a platformer? Because this might make more sense as a top-down shooter. That's what I'm leaning towards. We need some sort of reason to switch abilities. I'm so fed up with platformers. That was me for a very long time. Aside from my platformer scripts, I don't know when the last time I made a platformer actually was. It could well be over 2.5 years ago. Yeah, after finishing Cosmos, I was very done with platformers. Okay, is it smart to change directions while we still can and make this into a top-down shooter? Okay, I know what we're gonna do. We're gonna make a poll. This isn't set in stone, but I think it's a good idea to decide. I think it works better with top-down. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards that as well. I'm kind of okay though with, for the rest of today, just focusing on the platformer. Will you save the stream on your channel? Yeah, I actually made all my past streams public yesterday as well. So now that YouTube has this like separate live tab, I'm kind of okay with leaving them all public from now on. What if the enemies are designed to be easier to deal with certain abilities? That way there's a reason to switch abilities, yeah. I think the top-down genre will definitely work well with the combat. I'm trying to think, what would be a good reason to swap abilities? It would kind of take away all that movement aspect though that I'm kind of looking forward to. Hey Jacob. This is a conundrum. I'm very split here. Okay, okay, what do you guys think? Should I turn this into a top-down game, top-down shooter, or a platformer? I'm okay. I think for today, I'm just going to prototype to see what I'm kind of feeling. And then by tomorrow, I'll work out exactly what kind of direction I want to take this game in. And then just full steam ahead with that. So if whatever we decide today doesn't work out, that's okay. We can start fresh tomorrow. Have a look at the pinned comment. Okay. Choose away, guys. So the entire game is focused around you becoming the enemy that kills you. I like platformers. Yeah, I'm realized actually asking this question to a community who's entirely formed around wanting to improve their platformers might be slightly biased. We'll see. It's currently 60% platformer. Okay. I have a feeling what we'll end up doing today is trying to set up a platformer as a platformer, realizing doesn't entirely work, and then switching it to a top-down shooter tomorrow. But I'm okay with that. I think I definitely want to try and get this like really juicy momentum-based combat working. Question to anyone joining the jam: what game engine are you using? Everyone used, yeah, as I expected. I think if I started fresh today making a game, I'd probably choose Godot actually, which is kind of weird. I think I voted by accident lower. Making a roguelike? Okay, so I really like roguelikes. But for a game jam, I'm kind of against doing that because everyone's only going to play a game for like 5 to 10 minutes. So having all this like procedural content generation stuff is kind of unnecessary. Since everyone's only going to play it for a few minutes, you might as well just give them all the same level. So that's my view on that. Okay, I think we're all settled on a platformer then. Okay, let's full steam ahead with this then. Let's go. Okay. I'm just gonna, let's just try it. Let's see what sticks and just throw everything I have at it. Okay, so combat. Let's create a new, actually no, everything in a scrim strip. This is a game jam. It doesn't have to be clean at all. Okay, so we're gonna get the player's mouse position, and then that we're gonna, from there, I hope you will play my game for more than 5 minutes, huh? Yeah, unfortunately in platformers, I mean, in game jams rather, people generally don't play for that long. And that's good, generally most of the games are really short to be honest, so hey. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what everyone makes by the end. That'll be fun. I'll definitely do a few sessions of just streaming all the games that I find from the jam. Okay, it's 4 o'clock now for me. I'm gonna work on this for another hour. So let's see how much content we can get out. Okay, let's create a new vector 2, and this is gonna store our mouse position. And the way we do this is we then have to convert this to world coordinates. Though, hold up, yeah, inputs or coordinates. So let's convert that to world coordinates. Camera.main. And we're going to turn these screen coordinates into world. Okay. Then let's get the direction. So this is all going to happen when the player attacks. So let's make that the mouse. Yeah, let's make that the mouse button. If input dot so 0 for the right mouse button, or the left one rather, sorry. If you obtain the abilities from the enemies, if the enemies do the same, obtain your abilities, make them stronger. That could bring some trade-offs. Ooh, that's very interesting. How would that work with AI? So maybe you don't just want to get too strong in that case. Yeah, I think we can definitely work around this like issue later on, I think. And also, if the game's too easy, that's not actually that big of a deal. Like, it just has to be fun for like 10 minutes, like I said before. So if it's kind of easy, it's not the end of the world. Balancing isn't something, as long as balancing doesn't ruin the fun, it's not the worst case scenario if everyone's overpowered in the game. Okay, we're gonna make a attack function as well. Oh, autocorrect. Okay, private void jump, and let's make a new one, attack. Okay, so how do we want to get this working? So you can jump, and then if I give the player some sort of like dash attack, maybe? I'm playing around with this in my mind. I'm tempted to get rid of jumping, to be honest, and just have you launch yourself into the air and like dash like that. Oh, but having wall jumping would be very cool. So there needs to be a really good reason to want to switch abilities. The AI could work with multiple abilities, but we can say how to do it before choosing the abilities. Yeah. I think I might analyze a game like Doom here, because I know Doom has you switching guns constantly. So if we can kind of replicate that idea, that could be very good. Make it very hard for the player to complete the level if they don't switch their abilities. Exactly. So I need to find an elegant way to achieve that, like a long cooldown. Yeah. One idea I did have was to encourage the player to be faster. Every time you kill an enemy, that will be reset your cooldown. So you kill an enemy, or you get killed by an enemy, you get their ability. Then every time you actually kill an enemy, then that resets the ability. So you kind of have this trade-off between you get killed by an enemy and that will give you their ability, or you kill them and then that gives you your current ability back. That's a bit wordy to say, but I think in practice that should be quite elegant and simple. Close to a prefab in the player position. I mean, that should be quite simple. So you instantiate the current game object. Yeah, so you use the instantiate function, input the current game object, and then set its position to that of the player. I hope that makes sense. And then that would create a clone. I don't know, that could be a bit glitchy though, if you do that way, but I think that should work. Okay. You could punish staying alive instead of not switching abilities. Yeah, I think these are issues I should challenge. I should try and work out when I come to them. Remember to make your players feel good. Exactly. Yep. Okay. Yeah, some sort of timer could be a good solution. I'm now doubting my previous decision of letting you guys pick platformer, because every time I think about this game, I'm picturing something more like Nuclear Throne rather than something more like Katana Zero. Yeah, I think we'd have to try and find a way to either tie that into the fiction or make that really readable. A HP drain could work. Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay. How could we implement interesting movement into a top-down game? Could that work? I'm thinking we could have like roll abilities. A grappling hook would still work. Do you know how to set a vector to the player's position? Set it to get the transform of the player. So if your script is on the player, you can literally just say transform. Like this. So this is the player script. If I want to get the player's position, I would just do transform dot position, and that will return their position vector. Dashes, teleports, yeah. Okay, so what could be the challenge here? because designing a combat system can be really hard. What will be like the trade-off? Let's see. Make it smooth, also snappy. It's hard possible. Bonus points if you add a good dash. Yeah. Oh, guys, I think I might be leaning towards the top-down shooter, you know? Attacks that move your position, like, I don't know. Yeah. I think I want to make it try and make it quite speedrunning based. But now that I think about it, that could actually be quite interesting. And I don't think I've seen the game do something similar to that. So imagine it's kind of still imagine a vertical platformer, yeah? But instead it's top down. And so it kind of eliminates that the gravity side of things, but then that allows the player instead to focus solely on the combat, which could be quite good. Also, the different enemies, maybe there's some enemies that don't attack, but instead they can like heal you or block shots. That could be quite good. Some sort of like rock, paper, scissors strategy could be good. Okay. Let's implement a really basic top-down shooter. And then I'll end the stream. I'll go away, think about what different enemies we should have, and come back tomorrow with a fresh set of ideas and actually get implementing this ability switching. Okay, let's go. I have 40 minutes till I have to go, so let's sort this out. I can actually still incorporate a lot of the momentum-based movement I want if I'm smart about it. Okay. Let's start chopping this up. Delete. If you're feeling funky, you can make a top-down shooter with different highs, like Phil's ability to move you. Oh, that would definitely be funky. I've seen a couple people try making platforms and top-down, and it's quite an interesting challenge. Could I get that working? I don't know. I think a grappling hook. I'm just imagining like you swing yourself across nuclear front level right now. So we'll see how it goes. I know, I'm thinking about grappling hooks, to be honest, guys. Okay, let's get it started. Okay, the movement can all stay the same, apart from also going to get the Y input, so you can move up and down. Y and set that to vertical. To another floor, yeah. And simplify that. Move inputs dot Y. So later we can come back in and add a momentum. Maybe a lot of the attacks actually are quite close range, so that could be quite good. So you're forced to keep moving towards the enemies, kind of like how in Doom, to gain health you have to charge at the enemies. Oh, we could take hyper light drifters. Yeah, slingshot ability. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about with the grappling hook. In hyper light drifter, you have a melee attack and you have a ranged attack. However, the ranged attack has a limited amount of ammo, and so to regain your ammo, you have to then go slice an enemy with your sword. I could try stealing something like that, maybe. That could work quite well. Okay, momentum. Let's get rid of jump. Keep the attack, but let's just delete that for now. Get rid of ground checks. Get rid of jump force. Get rid of all this ground stuff that's been. It's kind of sad to see that all go, but hey. We can remove gravity as well now. Okay, cool. That works. Okay, let's get some sort of melee attack working. Let's create a new script. Call it player combat. Mad Lad says, this might sound weird, but maybe you can have a boomerang that teleports you to wherever it hits. So you can hit enemies in the back to surprise kill them. Ooh, I like the teleporting idea mixed in with the like ranged combat. Yeah. Okay. What I'm really trying to think about is what would be like the difficult, like the challenge element. So we need some sort of like pushback from the enemies that require you to use their abilities against them. That, I think, if we get that right, then we'll have a great game on our hands. Okay. So when you click, you attack, and then we're going to do this attack in a small radius around the player. In a top-down shooter with a lot of enemies and projectiles, how do you control who kills you? I might move towards more melee combat rather than shooter stuff. I see that could work better because, what you say is definitely true. If it was more like a bullet hell game, it would be basically impossible to know who kills you. So possibly more melee attacks could work better. Okay, so let's just we'll come and do a ground check, but for enemies instead, so we know which enemies we've like hit with our attack. Okay, let's make this serialized field. Private flow. Okay, so we've got our attack radius. Then our attack distance. You'll see, well, this is important later. This other layer for our enemies. What VS Code theme I'm using? I'm using 𝒉𝒂𝒂𝒏𝒈 with some slight modifications. Let me find it. Color theme, 𝒉𝒂𝒂𝒏𝒈, there you go. I kind of use GitHub Dark as well sometimes. And I switch up, to be honest. Enemy layers, attack. Okay, so we're gonna get the mouse position. Mouse pause, and then let's get the direction we're kind of attacking in. So let's create a new, let's make this into a vector 2. And this will be our attack direction. So that's equal to our transform, or our mouse position subtracted by our transformed position. And then we're going to perform some sort of attack there. How should we do this? Yeah, that's fine. Cast that to a vector 2. Cool, thanks. Hope you're going good. Thank you. That's awesome. Okay. Can we introduce you to our Lord and Savior hacks? Of course. If you have different paths to the next zone, each one focusing on a specific ability, you will have a reason to obtain certain abilities. Your challenge after obtaining it will be to survive. So that actually makes me think of something. We can make this into a kind of like open world game, you know, kind of like Metroidvania style. That could be quite interesting. Svenji says, but you can use friction of different liquids to manage gravity. What do you mean? I see an interesting idea regarding movement in top-down shooters. You can imagine that instead of looking at the scene top-down, you're looking at it from one side. Can you elaborate on that? That sounds really interesting. Okay, let's do our quick physics check. So we're going to get a transformed position and then add in our attack direction, which we're going to normalize over here. So normalize just means we turn it into a vector with length 1. And then we're going to multiply this by our attack distance, which now has a typo in. Let's fix that. Vector 2, awesome. Okay, our radius will be obviously our attack radius. And let's add in our enemies layer. Okay, so that will return all the enemies that we've collided with. And so we can add some sort of deal damage thing to them. For now, let's just go for each and just destroy it. For each, collider 2D, we'll call that just a coal. In coals, we will destroy game object. Coal dot game object destroy. Okay, like for example, you would be able to move exactly like in a classic top-down shooter in water, but in thin air, the game would look more like a platformer. So you just like that, it's honestly plagiarism, but you might think of an interesting way to think about that. Okay, I kind of get what you mean in a way. So like your movement will be affected by what fluid you're in, right? I think I'm going to focus more on momentum rather than actual platforming for this. Or for this like interpretation of a top-down shooter that's movement based. There we go. We'll see though. I haven't got too much set in stone yet, apart from the idea of become the enemy that kills you. I think that's a really good core mechanic to just stick by. Okay, attack done. Okay, let's see if we can get this working. Let's get some enemies up in here. Okay, this is a temporary enemy. Let's create a new layer. Let's add in our combat script. Okay, attack radius, oh, let's just say 0.5 for now. Distance of 1, enemies, nothing. Let's add in a quick sprite for the enemy as well, of course. Let's make them a temporary red color. Okay, does this work? No. And that's because that's not enemy, maybe. Thomas, if it works straight away now, I'm going to be very surprised. Let's go. Okay. Awesome. We have top-down combat, guys. Let's go. Okay, so that's the very basics of a top-down melee action game thing. Why did that enemy die too? Okay, there's something going wrong here. Okay, I see what happened. I've just moved their sprites, not... Yeah, okay. Let's... Oh, whoops. Okay, let's go all the way back to 1. Copy that. Move that over there. Copy that. Move that over there. Okay, that should all be working great now. Perfect. Okay. Let's head back to the drawing board for a little bit. So you become the enemy that kills you. It's going to be not a platformer game. is going to be a top-down game. And it's going to be about minimalist controls. The enemy's going to be weak. We're going to have some movement. Could have a grappling hook. Platformer, death equals progression. That's another key aspect of the game that I haven't mentioned yet. Hold on, I look away for 2 seconds and you turn the physics into that of a top-down shooter. Yes. The great thing about platformers and top-down shooters is they're incredibly simple to get started with compared to strategy games, which is something I've been exploring over the last few months, and wow, they're complicated. Yikes. I think I've probably spent a couple of weeks of my life just working on grid-based movement. Okay, cool. Oh, I'm really struggling to work out what direction I want to take this now. I kind of have a good vision for the game. How to get to that vision, I'm not entirely sure yet. Hi, Yusuf. Okay. An end is a new beginning. What's the fastest way we can get this mechanic implemented? Thanks for saying my name right away. Oh, we've got to say hi to everyone who comes in. Come on now. Oh no, that's been the most fun part recently of this whole YouTube channel, is the number of people who've actually like come to Discord and helping each other out now. It's great. Being able to interact with just everyone in this like mini community we're creating is awesome. Okay. So we have movement, we have combat. What next? And so with your idea of becoming the enemy that kills you, you could have enemies that are better suited for certain environments. Birds in thin air, fish in... Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good idea actually. I was in the Brackeys Discord before, but I was too afraid to ask anything for there for some reason. I don't really have that. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. I think one of the issues when you get really large Discord servers is it's kind of hard to get started because everyone's like, every channel is having different conversations constantly. And I know it feels a bit daunting to actually start like chatting to people there. That's something I think I'm gonna try and solve, because I know our server has grown rapidly. It's at 230 people now, which is crazy. So I'm hoping that I can come up with some fun, interesting ways, which I'll share over the next few weeks, months, to help like foster a really good community. So one of those could be some sort of like competition as well. So if this becomes a really good speedrunning game, I think having some sort of speedrun competitions could be great. Chess has become really popular. Chess tournaments could be really fun. Just loads of things to get people involved in the community. Of course, game jams as well. Great starting point. Okay, I think let's leave this how it is. I'm gonna come and I'm gonna think about this tonight a bit, and I may stream later in the evening as well. But for now, how about we play some games? Has anyone here, have any of you guys got any games you'd like me to give feedback on? Because that's something I've been meaning to do. If not, I have a couple people submitted some on the server. I don't know if there's anyone here. Mad Lad's like, yeah. Ludbo says, almost an hour of loading my new project and it's also corrupted. The problem is Git and URP don't mix well. And now almost 30 minutes in, it's finally created, but not in a Git. Oh gosh, that doesn't sound fun. Unlucky. I have in my itch. Could you send me a link? I'd be happy to try out any of the games. Yeah, I'm thinking I need to think about this idea a bit more. I feel like I think it has a lot of potential. I don't know. I need to think about what direction I want to take it slightly more. Join the server right now, lol. Oh, let's go. Increasing in size. Oh yes, I too love playing a game made in 15 minutes. What times are you in, by the way? I think it's called GMT, right? Grand Meridian time, UK time, whatever that is. Now it says I don't have a Sastra. I think Unity doesn't want me to do this jam. Oh gosh. Oh, not having a fun time, are you? What was the topic of this game jam? An ending is a new beginning. So my take on that is when you die, you gain new abilities. Become the enemy that kills you. Why do you want to become one of the enemies? That is an important question. Why swap? I think that's possibly gonna be one of the core questions I need to answer to make this game really pop. Oh, in that case, I'm only 1 hour away from you. Let's go. That's awesome. One thing I was kind of scared of today is the Super Bowl is happening in America, right? So I was wondering if I'd like lose out, if like barely anyone to watch, if most of my viewers are in the US. Though to be honest, I think only about 15% of my audience is actually from the United States, which is quite surprising. I actually have a very diverse audience across the world. It's not just all English speaking countries, which is really cool. Because I know that's something a lot of British YouTubers have, is like 50% of their audience is American, 25% of the UK is like the UK, and that's kind of it. I'm from Jordan. Nice, nice. Yeah. Okay. How about we play some nuclear throne? Belgium? Belgium? I'm from, oh no, I'm from gun country. Oh, yikes. A fun and cool looking movement ability could be enough motivator to swap for a game jam. Just a curiosity driven experience. Yeah, that's definitely true. I definitely don't need to, or shouldn't overthink this too much. Ooh, I could play this game. This is the game that someone submitted to me over on Discord. They're cool. I think it looks super charming. So I may play that over one stream. For now though, let's head over to Nuclear Throne. Have I installed it? Probably not. No. Space Jump. Okay. Could you send the link? If not, let me Google. Space Jump. Okay, the chance of me finding your game are going to be slim with that name, sadly. Let's have a look. I still have yet to play some. I really should. Yeah, it looks super charming. I just walked over it. Okay, okay. Which one is it? I need like some description here. There's so many games called Space Jump. With logo green and blue. Okay. Is it this one? Yeah. No. That has to be it. No. Green and blue. Oh no. What's the description of the game? Or could you like, what's in the thumbnail? This is not going well, is it? With logo green and blue. Was it this one? It's annoying because the chat's a bit delayed, so. Last Stand By You, okay. Wait, let me check. Has someone sent a link on Discord that I should put? No, okay, cool. Okay, yeah. Okay, whoever sends me a link first, I'll play your game. Oh, I'm sorry. This must be really infuriating for you. I'm sending. Okay, perfect. Oh, is it not working? Is there like something stopping you guys from sending links in chat? Anywhere is fine. Unless is there an issue sending stuff in chat? Links. If so, oh, I was gonna say tap at the name, but like that we've seen how that doesn't really work. On Discord would be good then, yeah. Okay, this one. Can I get confirmation? Okay, perfect. Okay, awesome. Okay, let's go. Download. Install. Okay, I'll play your game next, Jacob. Finally. Oh, it's all good. It's all good. Okay. Okay, start. Level 1. Try to get to the green square. Pro tip, you are the cyan square and use WSD to move. Ooh. Next level. Okay. This movement feels... Oh no, I'm stuck. This movement feels really like dreamlike. Maybe a different game. Yeah, I think... I don't know, was this made for like a game jam or something? Don't touch red square. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I understand the name then. Coming up with names is so hard, honestly. Ooh. Is this using my movement stuff, by the way? Okay, this... Ooh, this reminds me of a game I made, actually. It's kind of gravity-based as well. Okay. Oh, I see. So, yeah, you're switching the gravity. You're not actually, like, moving them. My dad gave me the name. Okay. Okay, how... There's like a puzzle then. So if we go there... So if I go down, I shouldn't die. Oh, yeah, of course. Okay, so if I go across now and then up. No, okay. Yeah, WC, yeah, changes gravity, yeah. Okay, let's go here. Up. Across there and perfect. Okay. Why didn't... Is this green square not affected by gravity? Oh, there we go. So when I press right, the green square doesn't go right. Oh. Oh, does the green square only move when the blue square moves then, I'm thinking? Screen says invert. Ah, okay. Okay, so how can I get out of this? So if I go then down, perfect. Okay. Ooh, green square was not very healthy there. Go down and okay, let's go at timing down straight away. Oh wait, does the green square not die? Ah, okay, that makes that a bit easier. Okay, so the green square's in. Oh no! This is quite cool. I like this. There's definitely an element of randomness. It's a bit hard to deal with. It feels like. I made a game very similar to this a long time ago. This is very cool. Okay, so I need to try and get the green square out of here. Okay, that was not the green square. Oh no. Oh, what's the timer for? Oh, is that just like general like speedrunning kind of stuff? Oh no. Down, out. Oh gosh. Okay. Focus time. Okay, down, out. Then we want to. Okay, there we go. Come on. Hey, let's go. Okay, this purple skull will make enemies smaller and faster, and the yellow's gonna make them slower and bigger. Okay. So. That's very satisfying. I'm not entirely sure I understand what's going on with that. Well, it's rather chaotic, but it's very interesting. Okay, so purple makes them bigger, yellow makes them smaller. Can someone just say, can you not post links in chat? Let me know. Oh, okay. Okay, let's get it down and out. Okay, there's a lot going on here. So then move to the right, up. Oh gosh. You can't post things. Okay, I'll fix that for next stream then. I have a feeling I know why it's happening. Down, out. Okay. So we're gonna try and make sure the blue square doesn't die. So we'll go slightly to the right to build up momentum. Then we're gonna go up. There, perfect. No, Okay, let's try again. So blue square down and out. Oh, no. Gotta do it really quickly. Okay, I don't know what I've done here, but that seems to have worked. Hey, okay. This feels, I don't know, this feels kind of more chaotic than a puzzle game, but simpler in movement than a platformer. It's very cool. I like this. How long was the game jam for this? Using top chat sensors links. Oh, no, I don't think so. Or maybe it does. Either way, I can't see them. 3 days. Yeah. Oh, you were sick? Ah, it's very good nonetheless. Okay, how can we get past here? So if I swap. So the red ones, yeah, the red ones go faster. So if I go this way, then swap it now. Okay, then up. There we go. Okay. I see I'm gonna have an issue here. Actually, if I go down, the yellow one will make it small. No, okay, the purple one makes it smaller. Okay, everyone's a bit squished here. Come on. This is really fun to look at just because of how much stuff is like moving around. Oh yeah, COVID. Ah, that sucks. Okay, yeah, there's a purple one. Bring that down, make that smaller. Perfect. Okay. So as a shield, there we go. Nice. There's actually some sort of element of strategy to this. I really like this. Okay. Can I come down? Hey, awesome. Oh, okay, that was really close. Ha, I seem to be trapped. I think I'll do another 2 levels of this, then I'll try someone else's game. Nice. Oh, awesome. Hey, that was great. That was actually really well sought out for only 3 days. Impressive. Good job. Okay. Let's go on to Jacob. Are you still here? I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, by the way. Okay, has anyone in chat to want me to play their game? Yes, okay, awesome, Estelle. Awesome. Okay, let's try out your game. Leave me alone. Let me find the right one. Can I type your name? Will that work? Okay, there we go. That's a much easier way to do it. Okay, install. Oh, awesome, perfect. Please play the tutorial. I will most certainly do. Fmod. Oh, this is cool. You might want to change the pivot on the player so it doesn't look like spinning around their head. It's kind of charming at the same time. Now kill the zombies. Oh wait, did I miss something down here? Was I meant to pick up a gun? Or have I already got a gun? Okay, awesome. Reload. Oh, okay. Got some game juice in here. I like it. Okay, I have so many bullets. Okay, awesome. If you have reloading, you might want to add some sort of reason for people to not want to waste their bullets. Since I have so many, it's kind of like pointless. Upgrade. 15 scraps. I have 150 of those. Okay. Why can't I buy a better gun then? Okay. Yeah, he'll buy one of those as well. For all these mechanics, you can try out the real game. Okay. Main menu. Back. Okay, have to quit. Play. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, I assume this is some sort of like survival, endless survival kind of game. Let's buy a gun. Okay, night, wave 1. Okay. Oh, okay, you have a light. Can you see enemies when they're in the dark or are they invisible? I might have to find it. Okay, you can see them. Hold up, where's my gun? Oh no. Oh gosh, that's not a good start, is it? Okay, let's try and use some elite gamer skills and work out how to get a gun. Oh, I have 0 scraps. Okay, so actually I need to find... How do I find scraps? I don't know. Okay, I'm way faster than the enemies though, so that's good. Where you're able to submit games, preferably over on the Discord so you can actually link it, or so in the show off category that is, or if you want you can also just name it here. Where? Press 1. Oh, there's a light. Oh, okay, I had to equip. Ah, okay, I get you. Oh, can you get scratched? Oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense. Reload. Oh, love some sort of like squish effect when I'm like hitting the enemies. Some sort of like feedback. The blood splatter is really good though. That's well done. Dead, lovely. Okay. I don't know how many enemies are left in. Whoa, okay, that guy's way faster. Keep reloading. Is there a randomness to the shots? Can't tell. It feels like there is. Okay, so for everyone asking for me to play that game now, I would say the best thing to do is join the Discord server and make a post about it in the show off category. So then, even if I don't get around to it, I'm sure someone else will try it out for you if you ask nicely. The game was hard pretty quickly, yeah. Okay, I think I've got a good feel for the mechanics now, so I'm ready. Okay, so they can shoot stuff now. Cool. How much? Okay. Oh, wow. My health is really low. I just realized. Oh, the music's picking up. This is actually really polished already. I think if you added some more game juice, maybe maybe some more screen shake, or not more screen shake, but rather screen shake in like other areas to give more feedback. I think it's really important with game feel that you're using it to give some sort of oh no, come on. Oh no. Kills 27, 𝒘𝒂𝒕𝒄𝒉𝒊𝒏𝒈 34. Okay, I might try out someone else's game now. By the way, to upgrade stuff, you press the big green button with upgrade. Yeah. I think having some sort of feedback so you can see like if you haven't got enough money or something. Often, okay, I'll play one more. I know when you're making something as a developer, some things seem really obvious, but when you get someone else to come in and play your game, you'd be surprised how like unintuitive some things can be if you're not careful. That's just something to keep in mind. Because I know I've had games in the past where press 1, reload, awesome. Okay, I've had games in the past where I completely understand them, they're easy to me, but if I give them to like a friend or something, they have absolutely no clue what's going on, and that's okay. It happens, but it's just something to keep aware of, that playtesting is really important, and make sure that people understand what's going on. Also, part of it here is I'm trying to talk and explain the game whilst learning it myself, so yeah, sorry about that. Okay, night 1, so I assume now I can go upgrade something. Oh, I can't maximize it. Okay, that's cool. Okay, I need 30 scraps to get a new gun. Okay. I think in the early stages, can I do that mid-game? Oh, okay, perfect. Thank you. Not even close. Okay, half HP. I'm trying to think. So if I was making this game, what would I improve about it now? I'm thinking making the bullets bigger. That's just something really easy to make any like shooter, top-down shooter feel better. I would recommend checking out 𝒉𝒂𝒏𝒈's talk on screen shake. It's really interesting, yeah. Okay, doing this and reading chat at the same time is really difficult. My game is the same as this game, but a lot worse. Oh, that's okay. I've actually made a game very similar to this as well, and I think it's the second game I ever made, or maybe the third. And it was, wow, it was awful. It's cool though, games where you have a high score kind of inherently quite interesting because you always have something to work towards, just increasing your score, let's say. I assume that's one, maybe like that number there, I'm guessing that's my score, I'm not sure. Please be mine, it's cool. Yeah, I'll definitely try and get as many as I can. I think I probably won't play one more after this, but I'll play some more tonight, likely, or tomorrow at least. So definitely make a post and oh, no, okay, that didn't, we'll stop paying attention, that's not good. New high score, we take that, awesome. Thanks for submitting that, Jacob. Okay, have people made posts in the Discord server? Let me go have a look. Okay, yes, awesome. Okay, I'm gonna go now and have a bit of a break from streaming, but I'll come back and maybe next time I stream, at the end of that stream, I'll try and play some of yours. Okay, Web Spider Heroes. Let me install that now and I'll remember to play it later. Is it this? Yeah, awesome. Let's install that. Crazy Kid LBP, I will play yours as well at some point. Okay, awesome. Okay, well, thank you guys all for tuning in. I'll try and get to as many people as I can. I think obviously the main thing I want to focus on is making my game, but I'd like to, you know, give feedback as well at the end of each stream. That'd be great. The best thing definitely is to make a post over on Discord and then allow just everyone to try it out. That's the best way to get lots of feedback. And aside from that, I'll see you guys all in the next one. Okay. Catch you guys in the next stream.